Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Apparent Voice. I am your host, Bernita Bradley. This is our Friday, September 11th show. Um, just want to give a shout out to every parent who has started this school week. No matter whether they are parenting, schooling, doing actual homeschooling or virtual schooling or in person, whichever way, just give a shout out to you and just know that you are doing a wonderful job no matter even if you feel like pulling your teeth out right now, it's still you're doing your best, right? And also just want to acknowledge
And just know that you are
excuse
doing
me
a wonderful
excuse
job,
me
no matter
excuse me
even if
excuse me
you feel
I'm
like
supposed
pulling
to
your
be
teeth
turning that
out
down.
right
I thought
now.
it was down.
It's still you doing
So yeah, so just wanted to acknowledge that today is 911 and all the lives that were lost during the 911 um, issue in New York, and just pay respect to those families and just say that you are forever in our thoughts and in our prayers. And just know that this country, our citizens honor you, and we will never forget. And with that being said, before I get all mushy and tear-eyed and all that kind of stuff, because that's a sentimental moment for me. I remember where I was the day it happened, and as I'm sure everybody else does, right? But just that moment was a scary moment in life, and right now, today, we are living in a lot of scary moments. And to remember that moment today in the midst of everything we're already going through is just like, wow, weighing a little bit heavy on people. And so we want those families and those people in their memory to know that we honor them. The National Parent Union honors them. Carrie and Tim were talking about it on their show this morning. And yeah, we honor you. And so, again, thank you to the National Parents Union. Wanted to remind everyone that the National Parent Union will begin our polling again, and that polling will be monthly. So we will be surveying families, asking you, how are you doing? How's education going? What needs to change in your community? We just want you to know that we are listening. We are here to listen. Not only are we here to listen, but we are here to take action, not for you, but with you, to take action based on what your needs are and what your desires are and what needs to change in your community. The National Parent Union is spread across every state in the United States, including Puerto Rico. And so we want you to know that no matter where you are and where you're watching from today, that there is a support system somewhere across the country for you. So reach out to us. We also have open membership right now, and the membership is not at a cost. It does not cost you anything to become a member. Only thing we want you to do is take a pledge that you vow to do this for children and families and to keep families first. And sign on. You can sign on as an individual or you can sign on as an organization. But go to National Parent Union, parentsunion.org. And on our website, you'll see where you can sign up to become a, a National Parent Union member. Also, we have our Every Family Votes. We really want, and you'll start seeing us kind of display the Every Family Votes um, logo on our shows across the National Parent Union. This is not the only show, as people know. And that Every Family Votes, we want you to know to get out and vote. Wherever you live, vote. If you know somebody who is not sure if they can vote, because some states people have issues with voting. If you don't know of somebody who is turned 18 and they haven't signed on to vote yet, make sure they sign up to vote. Make sure they register. Make sure those ballots are in ahead of time. Call your local Secretary of State, get your ballot and get it in. This is a pivotal time in our country, and we need people to vote. We don't want to tell you who to vote for, but know that you need to vote. You need to vote. Um, know that your vote counts. Find out even what's in your local community that's being voted on and vote. Learn and partner with us and come to our website to learn what we're asking our local elected officials and those who are running for office to do. around education for our children. We're asking them to do a lot. We're asking Joe Biden, where's your stance set on education? We want to know. We want to know what your stance is on defunding police and how safe communities can look, and how testing, COVID testing, and how reopening schools look. A whole wonderful list of things that we're asking them to address. And so, without further ado, I just want to go ahead into the show and just at the end, I'll remind you again to come on and become a member of the National Parent Union. We want thousands and thousands of parents. We want hundreds of thousands of parents. There's more than enough parents who need support. And if you know of a parent who does need support and needs to just be attached to some organization that is saying we are all about parents, we are that organization. So I asked a longtime friend of mine to come on today, Regina Hollis. I've been knowing Regina. Come on, head on, Regina. I think I talked a whole lot already. But yeah, so I've been talking to Regina for the last couple of days. We had some issues here in Detroit, but let me just tell y'all how proud I am of this young lady sitting next to me on this camera right now. So when I met Regina, Regina was this mom who was kind of quiet, but, you know, frustrated about things. And, you know, she had a voice and, you know, it was like I really want to say stuff, but I just don't know how to say it or whatever. Like, I don't want to come across as wrong and this and that. And then it took a couple of occurrences to happen. And Regina became this phenomenal advocate for families. I hope she tells her story the way I want her to tell her story, but I won't tell that portion of her story for her. I'll let her share that. But I've watched her grow, and I've watched her take her pain and turn it into a passion for other people who are experiencing the very same thing. And that's what parent leadership is about. That's really what parent leadership is about. So without further ado, Regina Hollis, how are you, love?
I am great. Hi, everybody.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Regina.
Well, I'm a parent of 4 girls, and I must say they're all grown now. But as you said, it was a journey going through a journey as a parent, not only going through the school system, but just trying to raise 4 young ladies as a single parent. Um, what do you want me to say? It's
So
just so much.
it is a lot, but are you willing to tell your story of how you kind of got to Detroit Parent Network, and then how you didn't think you were going to be able to get the job? You know what I'm saying? Because of some things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always say my purpose is my testimony. So
Mhm.
um it's not a short story, but I'm gonna try to keep it
That's
like
okay. We got
short.
40 minutes.
So basically I'm a parent who has had kids in care before. And
What
it
does
happened.
kids in care mean for those who may not know?
Oh, so I'm sorry, kids in the foster care system.
Mhm.
And so once upon a time, around 2004, 2006, my kids were placed in foster care because I was not the best parent. And there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. I was not the best parent. I was in a dire situation, domestic violence. But, upon working hard, going through the system, I got my children back within 6 months. I was in a shelter, um, and I stumbled upon DPN. And the story is so crazy because I moved in the area where the shelter was, and so happened DPN was in there. Wow.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
So happened I just started to join like their groups, parent leadership training, volunteering, just doing certain things with them, their activities. You kind of gotta help me out, Bernita. There was just so much
Yes.
going on.
So just thinking about the fact of where you were as a mom, it wasn't like this was where you wanted to be, or you were just this mom who didn't care. It was just like life circumstances had happened, right?
Yeah, life circumstances happen,
And
and
and I think we see a lot of that with parents now, where parents are going through, especially during the pandemic. We got moms who are staying with cousins, who are leaving kids at home, or I don't just say moms, parents, right? Families who are struggling. And
yes,
and one of the main things was you had a support system
yes,
that kind of came not packaged around what they thought you needed, but they asked you what you
what
needed.
I needed, and that was so valuable, and that helped me actually gain a voice. Like the school, the as far as DPN was concerned, it was no judgment. It was just, how can we help you?
Hmm.
And they helped me, and I end up eventually working with DPN on numerous projects. Just becoming a parent leader, that's been my since I've been through that situation. My main goal is to become a parent leader and to show parents the importance of parenting, and without the shame, without the guilt, just
Mm-hmm.
bringing them the
Mm-hmm.
straight knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
the facts, the support,
And when
just
you came in, it wasn't this, oh, you one of these parents. Let's sit you over here till you get yourself together. Like
right.
nobody did that, right? Nobody shamed you. Nobody shamed you into you need to, and what you need to do is, right?
No,
It was like, what do you want
it
to do?
was empowerment, pure empowerment. Like, I see your value. I see what's going on with
Hmm.
you. I see what you have to offer, and just throwing me into roles that I was uncomfortable with, but they knew I can handle. And it gave me such confidence. And in that confidence, it helped me help my children see me in that confident and empowered role. And it helped them
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to learn the
Yeah.
same, because before they probably would have been just like me, just kind of going with the norm, taking what I can, surviving, existing, instead of learning that there's more to life, like, than existing. You have to live and support each other and love on each other, and we have so much to offer. We don't even know. I think the first question in one of the parent classes was, what are your strengths?
Mm.
And I wasn't the only one in the class, and I think we couldn't answer. I know I
Yeah.
couldn't answer that
Yeah.
question. I
Yeah.
didn't know what my
Everybody
strengths
was
were.
baffled. It was like, what you mean my strengths? Like I'm a mom, and it's like we had equated our
It's
strengths to,
I'm just a mom. That's our favorite. I'm just a mom.
mm,
What you mean you just a mom? So that
mm,
means as a mom, you organizing, you prioritizing,
mm,
you resourceful. We we have so much strength in us that it takes a village to show us what those strengths are.
and to bring it out in you and compliment it, right?
Mm,
And
yeah,
so what Regina's not telling y'all is that not only did she go to those parenting classes, right? But we were in those classes, and as we were in those classes, Regina, you saw this butterfly happen, where Regina began to lead those classes. Okay, she began to facilitate those classes across the city with parents who she saw value in, and parents who came like just haphazardly, like, I really don't know what to do, but I know something in me like made me come in this parent room today, and I just wanted to check in and see. And Regina became this parent who led a charge for families who kind of was like just like her before, right? And from that, Regina was like helping to change policies. We were out there marching together. We were out there in Lansing, like, no, you not going to, this is not going to happen. This is what our schools need to be, right? And all of that from a mom who probably 4 years before then just like thought like I'm at the lowest or whatever of my life,
yeah.
right? And so I really wanted Regina to come on today because this week we've had this epidemic of parents being called out in the city of Detroit. And the parents have been scrutinized. Parents have been shamed, you know, for what some people deem is not excellence or is not, and it's literally been used, the word, oh, we're demanding excellence in education. And these parents ought to be ashamed of themselves because of these things. And like literally on social media, this long rant on our Detroit Public Schools website from a school board, right? From Corletta Vaughn. And not only is she school board leader, but she's actually a school board member, but she's actually a pastor and a bishop. And I really wanted to, I was really concerned. So first I came on and I kind of wrote a rebuttal, not to her, but like, stop shaming parents. Stop shaming parents. Parents are doing the best they can, blah, blah. Like, unless we are going to give resources, right? Unless we are going to provide services for families, you don't have the right to come on here and shame us. Don't do that. Right. And then me and Regina had a conversation. When Regina saw it, she called me like, Bernita, wait a minute. They got me hot over here. And so what was your initial take when you saw that?
I was appalled. I was like fired up. And mind you, I have kind of been off the scene for a moment. I just kind of look and stroll and have my opinions, but I don't express them too much right now. I've been in my little hiatus. But
I'm gonna tell y'all what her hiatus is in a minute. Now she talking about like she been off the scenes. I'm gonna tell you what she been doing off the scenes. But go ahead.
But to see that was like, wait a minute. And then I started thinking, so I have a grandchild that will be starting school next year and probably will be DPS. I mean, that's what I know. That's what my children know. I'm pretty sure that's where she will go. And I just started thinking about, wow, what if that was my daughter that she was shaming, or what if that was my grandchild who had saw that? That would be so discouraging. I am at a loss for words. It's the first week. I think that might have even been the first day of school. I'm not sure if it was the first day.
I want to say it was the next morning. So I think it was Tuesday morning school. Excuse me. It was the first day of school. It was Tuesday, wasn't it? I think so, yeah. Because holiday was Monday. So it was the first day. Wow.
So that really took me back. I was like, hold up. We know that's going to take a minute for everybody to, get used to this transform. We have certain habits that we partake in our own homes, and we're probably going to have to get acclimated to being mindful. Hey, my children are online with the teacher, with the class. But for someone to come on a public site and criticize parents.
Yeah. So what she was saying was she actually was talking about that families were in the background, their surroundings were dirty, and they were leaving kids unattended. Like, how do you know if they leaving kids unattended? You not in a house. You see in one room. You see in one space.
Yeah.
Right? She was talking about. She said she's seen a parent smoking marijuana in the background and all this kind of stuff. And it was a list of stuff. And it wasn't just one rant she went on. She went on a couple of them. Yeah. And she posted from her page. She came on talking about it and everything. And we basically called for an apology, right? And that apology came back lopsided. That apology came back as, oh, we are demanding excellence. If you like this for families, then this and that. And nobody was saying like, we agree that a child should be left alone or anything, but we ain't your house police.
Right.
You are not a teacher. So one of the other questions was, how did you get on this site to even see what was going on in people's homes, right? Like, so that was a question to us. Go ahead, Regina.
So that was my first initial thought. Like, how does she know? Is she a teacher? Because I thought only the teachers were on the class. I could see administrators kind of monitoring classrooms, But then I found out that they are required to have their cameras on. So a teacher, I don't know how many two students are in their classroom. So everybody is privy to these people's households.
Yeah. Yeah.
That now, mind you, we knew people had circumstances way before the pandemic.
And not just dirty homes, right?
No,
Or whatever you deem to be unfitting.
exactly.
But the fact that there may be a family, so there was this campaign that we were posting like the last couple of weeks, like educators don't require these kids to keep their their cameras open.
Yeah.
Because you might have kids who are living in shelters. You might have children who are living in you might have children who are in a small little space with 17 siblings.
Yeah.
Or 17 family members in one place. And this may sound far-fetched, but it happens, right? Where it's one house and it's 6 different families living in this one house because people have been evicted, people been home, anything.
Yeah.
And they may have their camera off because they don't want you to see all the people around them. And it may not even be embarrassed. They may be looking at it like, I don't want to distract the rest of the class because there's all this stuff going on behind me.
Going on in the background. And then people have other children. I have, if you have older children that go to school, you might have smaller children that don't go to school. We have people who are just getting over illnesses from the COVID. We have people who are struggling right now with depression. We have a lot of things going on, and especially it's like tenfold since the COVID has happened. You have people that don't have unemployment, so that was another thing, not being prepared. I think that was one of her statements, not being prepared. So I took that, and maybe I'm wrong, but I took that to mean that they didn't have a desk, or they didn't have, somewhere to sit, or I've lived in a home with nothing. And that's what I had, and that's what I dealt with. My kids lived in a home with nothing. We have what we have.
We grew up, y'all remember the old-fashioned milk crates? You remember the old-fashioned milk crates, the sturdy ones, red and blue, and this ugly little green color that the milk used to come in. We used to have milk crates holding up our living room table at one time. We used to have milk crates that we sat in the dining room. This was our furniture at the time. We didn't know, we didn't care. We were sitting down with our family. If we did homework, we sat on it. When I did hair, if you wanted to sit taller, you stacked 2 milk crates so you could sit taller. This is what life is for some people, right?
Exactly.
And who are we to sit up there and say? So the other side was, on her post, you had a lot of parents that came, which I felt was so heart-wrenching, and it divided people. Because you had these parents that came and they had their kids sitting there looking clean and perfect and sitting at a beautiful space, and they were showing their homes and talking about, oh, I had my children prepared. And she was like, oh, excellence. See, that's excellent. See, and I'm like,
exactly. And think about why kids now wear uniforms to school, so that we can decipher who has, who doesn't, so there would be no type of bullying or she has more than I have or anything like that. So now we're in their home, so you're going to see the disparities, you're going to see the difference in homes and priorities, I have to say. But you don't pit them against each other to say, hey, you need to be more like her. You don't know why I can't be more like. Maybe I can't afford it. Maybe I'm still waiting on my unemployment.
Maybe this is just, so I've been being blunt with people and telling people, like, maybe this is how they want to live. But who are we to judge? Who are we to judge, right? Exactly. My house down here might be, you didn't see my house, Regina, my house down here might be immaculate. But when I hold stuff in my house, don't go upstairs to my bedroom, please don't. I'm telling you, I'm not a clean bedroom person. I'm not. It don't stink, but it's dirty, right? And I'm like, it's not dirty. I'll say it's unorganized. It's my club, right? So, but people will come over here and be like, "Oh, this is beautiful." I'm like, "Yep, there's somebody down them stairs." I'm like, "Hey, where you going? Where you doing? Come on back here." So So who are we to judge? Who are we to judge and label what excellence is?
Yeah.
You know.
And another problem I had with her posting that there, as a leader, like, you have to be mindful of your audience.
Mm-hmm.
There are children on that site. There were children on that site asking how to log on here, how to log on there. Now, even though it might not directly been that statement towards them, they might feel a certain type of way, like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, my house isn't the best,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
maybe I now they feel the pressure is on and they can't do anything about it. It's beyond their control.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that was a bigger problem for me. Like, you keep saying excellence for the children, but you that wasn't excellence that you showed to the children.
Yeah.
They
And every time, so I reminded her when me and her were going back and forth that every time a parent came on prior to that, or even on that day, every time a parent came on and asked for help, they were like, oh, the tablet, I haven't got my child's tablet yet. Oh, give them grace. Give them grace. It's gonna take time, Mom. Dr. Vitti said he's gonna get the information to y'all. Be patient. Be patient. Right.
exactly.
And so then a parent got on there and was saying something the day of, like, look, okay, it's the day of, and I didn't got this login information and it's not correct. It's not, or my child's camera isn't working, and all I keep hearing is the teacher saying, turn your camera on. And I'm telling them the camera isn't working on this tablet. And there was a couple of people said that their camera was only backward facing, right?
Right.
And even if that was a thing where the parent just didn't know how to turn it the other way, they didn't know. They didn't know. And she was shaming parents about asking for help. Like, she was literally telling them, give us grace. But then when you see something going on with parents, you go on there and slander them like they don't get that kind of grace.
And I believe that was the first day of school. That's what was so disappointing. We all knew that when this online, I totally expected us to see things that but we know what's going on in our communities, and that what makes me think that maybe some folks are out of touch and they need to kind of go back into their communities and visit these homes and help with their resources. And what scared me the most about her post was that somebody replied on her post and said something about mandating reporting. That they're mandated reporting. That'll turn a parent away so fast that you deem that me smoking marijuana is, I'm gonna call the people. Now, marijuana is legal, we all know. Granted, we shouldn't be doing it in front of the children, but if that's what they're doing, you can't keep calling the people on these folks every time.
Because like you said something key on the when we were on the phone, you were like, mandated reporter turns into something else, because once somebody reports something, then they come in and they report that whole house, and you don't know what might happen. And she came back and she asked me, she said, oh, so what you saying is you don't care that kids aren't treated right? I said, no, ma'am, don't twist my words. Don't do that. Because what I am telling you is, like, you talking about mandated reporter because you think a person's house is dirty, something like I want you to let me comb through your house, comb through every teacher that's on their home, and let us see a full view of everything you do in your life, and then tell me if it's good for what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Let me report some stuff on you.
Right. And I want to shout out to the teachers who did respond, and they said, and I wish I remembered their names, but they said that parents, we don't care about your background. Mm-hmm. We don't care about your background. Just get them babies to class. They shout out to those teachers.
Yeah, and I like to say shout out to a lot of the organizations. And don't think I forgot about what you've been doing on your hiatus. We're going to come back to that in a minute. But shout out to a lot of the organizations like the Brilliant Detroits, the Skillman Foundation, the United Way, all of the 482 Forward. I can't name all of them, but they've been coming together and they've been trying to plan some things to do for young people. And some of the suggestions I gave was create fun backdrops for kids, not the general ones that come on Zoom, right? But
Exactly.
create a campaign, just like we do during Breast Cancer Month. You can put a backdrop up on your Facebook page or something like that. Create some cute backdrops that says, I am brilliant. I'm sure Calvin Mann would appreciate this. Encourage me. I'm the future. Some stuff like that. Encourage me. I'm young, and let them put that as backdrops while they're sitting there. Most people on Zoom do it for work, so let the kids do it, right? And show them how to do it.
Right.
You had some suggestions about what you were talking about, tables and things like that.
Yeah, just something as simple as a TV tray, and a chair. Because, like you said, some people are living in shelters. Some people don't. They're not living in shelters, but they're moving from house to house. They might need something portable. I might be living with Aunt Becky this month, and I might be over Uncle's house next month, and something homework. A school table and chair that's portable that they can just sit in a corner, and just a small corner of the house with some type of maybe I don't know, backdrop that just so they can feel comfortable.
Yeah. And they'll feel like it's their workspace, right?
Yeah, this is their workspace. So a portable workspace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I like that you talked about it portable, because when we were talking about it last week, so there's organizations that are talking about doing this, right? And our homeschool network is talking about doing it also and sponsoring some families. But me and Regina want to challenge some businesses across the country. Like if you make these items, if you make the portable, the wooden dinner tray with the stands or something like that, make them and give them out to some kids, and give them out to some schools, and tell the schools to give them to their kids, or if you work at a place and you can afford to buy some, there's plenty of people who could buy stuff out of their pocket, right? I purchased these things. I keep calling them little tables, but they had a cushion under the bottom. They're supposed to be laptop trays. They have cushions under the bottom, and they're plastic on the top. And so for my home, we purchased 60 to give out to kids.
Okay.
Don't know who we gonna give them out to. We found them on sale at Office Max. And that's what I thought was at the door earlier when the doorbell rang. I hope it comes before we hang up. We only got about 10 minutes.
And then also headphones. So, because they do have back noise in the background that might be distracting. We need to get some of these children headphones.
Yeah, headphones. I mean, and there's companies that can donate that. If you make headphones, you can donate them. But then there's people who can do it too, and organizations that can do it. And I would challenge Corletta Vaughn to donate it. You put your money where your mouth is. If you care about families, put your money where your mouth is. Do some stuff for some of these families, right? And show up for them. And so before we jump off, I just want people to know, do not shame families. Families are doing the best that they can, even if the best is not up to what you consider your par, right? People like me and Regina have excelled in life because we had support when we were at some of our low states in life, right? Like we had people who saw something in us, and they never once came to us and said, you know what, you ain't this and that, and we want you to get here. They came and was like, where you see yourself in 5 years? And made us, like Regina said, think out the box. Like, what do you mean? What are my strengths? What is it? Okay. And of course, everybody don't have that in their own home. So even doing it on social media, you reach people. So that leads me to Regina, what she been doing on her hiatus. So
what I was doing.
But that's okay. That's okay, because you just stopped doing it over the pandemic. But you stopped doing it so you can go to school to do some other stuff, right? So Regina, for the last just about 10 years,
No, it's been about it was going on 7. It would have been 7 this year.
Tell us what you've been doing. So this baby, she already explained to you her beginning. I always call people baby. Explained to you her beginning. CPS was involved, Child Protective Services was involved in her life, and the court systems were involved in getting her children back in these classes, and she needed support to do that, right? So tell them what you've been doing.
So for the last 7 years, I've been working as a parent partner. And basically what a parent partner does in the organization that I was working for was we're parents who've had kids in care, and we work with other parents who currently have kids in care, help them reach and meet goals to get their children back. So the good thing about parent partners, which I really did, that really kind of is my passion. I just had to like step back for a minute so I can, do classes and everything. But the good thing about parent partners is they've been where you've been. So that's like peer support. You'd rather hear it coming from somebody who's been in that situation and who's conquered and who's been successful at getting their child out of the system than somebody who just sitting here giving you orders, telling you what to do. And we can say stuff that most workers, foster care workers, courts won't say. Like, like, girl, get your crap together. This is what you need to do, X, Y, and Z. And the reason I can say it to you like that is because I am you.
Yes.
I am you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Judgment-free zone.
And she's still being light on herself, y'all, because she actually goes to court and fight. Yeah. She's not an attorney, but because of her experience, she goes to court and fight for people to get their children back. Now, mind you, in doing that, Regina does it with fidelity, because she actually will tell people if they're not doing right, she's like, yeah, you're not ready for your kid back. She's gonna be honest about it. And she's not just doing it because she's a person who had her kids back, and she wants everybody to get their kids back, right?
Yeah, my type of what's the word I'm looking for? My advocating for you is different. I'm not gonna tell you what you want to hear. I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear. And with that being said, even though I'm not working in that capacity no more, if anybody is going through that, then feel free to kind of reach out to me for advice or anything. I can like do some things pro bono and help out and assist.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And so I'm so happy that on the phone the other day, she was like, I think I'm ready to get back out there and do some advocacy work. And I was like, what? Like, she back? Right. I mean, not that she ever left, but she was specific. She was specific in this area right here. But her brain expands so much further than just that work. And I'm grateful that you had those 7 years to do that work, because I'm so sure that was fulfilling for you. You are in school now for what, Regina?
So I'm just working towards my associate. I have 2 more classes to go. I started this so many years ago and life got in the way. I took all these classes, really kind of didn't know.
Hold on for a minute. I'm on mute. Victoria, the package came. Hold on.
And I guess I can keep talking.
Go ahead.
And I took all these classes and kind of didn't have anything specific. So found out that I was like 16 credits away from a business administration associate. So that's what I'm going for. I've been taking classes online, which, oh my God, that's why I know what the parents are going. Just for me to go online, I'm not an online person. That's not me. I'm hands-on. I like to see, I like to touch, I like to feel. That's how I learn. It was a struggle when this pandemic came up. I was in the middle of classes at school and we had to stop and do this online thing. It was hard. Then I did 2 classes over the summer. That was hard. Now I'm down. I'm doing 1 class because it's biology. Wow. But we got to keep in mind that some parents struggle with technology, believe it or
Yeah.
not. Even though they have a phone with Facebook, that's totally different
Yeah.
from.
And they keep telling the kids, oh, you can get on Nintendo or you could play that Wii,
Yeah,
or that is totally
it's
different.
not the same platform.
Different.
Now they can learn it. Of course they can learn
Mhm.
it, but it's gonna
Mhm.
take some time. It's gonna take some doing. It's gonna take some frustration. You might hear the occasional cuss word. I can imagine me in this day on the online with my kids. I can imagine y'all probably hear some words that y'all probably ain't never heard from me before. Like
Mhm.
I can
Mhm.
imagine because I've been struggling with this online, just me online.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just imagine, and then kids helping them with their homework was frustrating. So just imagine helping them online, and some
Mhm.
parents literally have to sit with their children all day. Like I know my sister has to because my nephew, he's in the 7th grade. I think he has ADHD, and he's not going to sit there
Yeah.
and do that work. Now, mind you, she works. So how do you navigate that? And she works during the daytime, so I guess she must have switched. I'm gonna have to talk to her about that because she's been on there with them, but she's been frustrated.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, y'all have heard it from Regina Hollis. Please, how can people get in touch with you, Regina?
Gmail, Gina Nicole, GINACOL @gmail.com, or my Facebook page is my name, Regina Hollis. Those are the only 2 platforms I have right now, but feel free to inbox me,
Yeah.
messenger me,
Yeah.
or email
And,
me.
and she is one of the most powerful advocates, brought up in the G time with advocates. We was out there like everywhere, right?
Lord
But
have mercy.
she ain't lost her thunder. She ain't lost her thunder, y'all. And she said the other day she was ready to get back out there. So I was like, ooh, so I'm gonna need you to come on my show because I need you to do this. So these are what we ordered. So we ordered these.
Oh,
They are miniature desks for the babies. And we ordered
oh,
70. We ordered 70, and they're real lightweight, got a little handle for them. I did see some that had that came open and they could put stuff in them, but these were more economical to buy. We plan on buying more, and this is from my household to community.
and
So
that's perfect for parents who, like, some parents had the kids in the car while they was in school, like literally driving around while
right,
they're at school. That's perfect for those parents, and people don't agree with that, but whatever works for you, you got to do what you got to do.
yeah, yeah, and it got a little pencil holder. I saw some that had a cup holder in it. I was gonna get those, but then I was like, oop, that's the last thing we need for the cup, for something to drink fall on the kids thing. So I left that alone. But we gonna order more. I think, like I said, we ordered. Yeah, I think it's 60 I ordered. No, it's more than that. However many. I got 10, 20. How many? 7 cases of 12. So yeah, so we have quite a few that we ordered. And then we'll order more in the next couple of weeks to give out to family. And I'll let people know within the next week or so the day that people can drive by a location and pick them up for kids. Because I'm looking for more donations. So if there's people who would like to donate, please let me know. I would love it. And if there's any computer graphic artists who would like to create our children some backdrops to go,
Yes.
or some screensavers to put up, and we can share those for National Parent Union, something kid friendly, and let them, we can share it with families with instructions on how to upload that to the back of their camera, whatever it may be. But as long as the babies are showing up, let them show up. Don't put more pressure on these babies. Don't put more pressure on these families. If parents have questions, make sure you are challenging the schools to answer your questions, and don't let anybody stifle your questions. Don't let anybody make you feel bad because you don't understand whatever you don't understand right now. Because I can just about guarantee you that if they get the new cell phone, they got their 5-year-old teaching them how to do it. So just like they don't understand that, we don't understand everything, right? So with that, this has been the Apparent Voice. I invite you again to become a member of the National Parent Union. Thank you for the National Parent Union for sponsoring the show. Thank you to Regina Hollis, this wonderful blessing to Detroit, and you're going to spread your wings so many other places too. But thank you for all the work that you have done for families and with families and on behalf of families. And thank you for taking your pain and pushing it out there and giving it to other people so that they can become who they need to be. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. So I love you all. Enjoy your weekend, and we shall see you next Tuesday.
All right, that was a great show, ladies.